Hello and welcome to a really lovely feature day with Caroline Peyton. She has got an amazing course coming up on the 25th of April. And it's lovely to have you here again, Caroline. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Charlotte. I feel like I'm doing lots of these at the moment.
Oh, it's so fabulous.
Yeah.
But you got lots going on, and we wanted to take you onto the show to talk about this because I think this is a really important subject that I know that so many people just don't think that they can get help with. So we're going to talk about how to take control of your hormones. And go on, Caroline, tell us a little bit about what the workshop is about. But before that, just give us a little bit of an insight what Peyton Principles is all about and what you offer in a little bit of a nutshell, if you can, please.
Sure. So I'm a nutritionist and naturopath, and I specialize very much in gut health, digestive health. A lot of people suffer with ongoing digestive symptoms, think they can't get relief, yet there are solutions out there that I help people with. So most of my time is spent doing that. But I do see clients with other symptoms and chronic diseases. And very much, as we know, in the media at the moment, is this talk around menopause and how ladies are struggling. And I thought, because I run online programs a couple of times a year, I thought this one I would really wanted to focus on ladies. Sorry, guys, this one's for the ladies. To show that it doesn't all have to be bad news. And I've called it taking back control of your hormones because that's exactly what we need to do. And I'm going to provide tools and information as to how we can do that.
Because it doesn't all have to be as bad as we think. And one phrase that I must say I really don't like is, "Oh, it's just my age." And yes, perhaps, we are going through menopause at a certain time of our lives, but every single woman go through it just as much as we go through puberty and all the other things that we go through in life. So why we don't talk about it is really something that's beyond me. But it's starting up. And I think Davina McCall's film that she did about it as well has really helped the media to kind of put another spin on it. So tell us a little bit about what you can do and what tools that you can provide and what we can do as women to get the message out there a bit more.
Yeah. So we don't need to be slaves to our hormones. We're not at the mercy of them. But unfortunately, unless you're given empowered with the right information, this happens to us. And it is about this personal responsibility and having the information so we can take back control. My program will be about giving people recipes. At the foundation of this is about giving people recipes, 14-day meal plan. I think many women understand this concept of phytoestrogens. That might be a word you've heard of. What that actually means is they are plant-based compounds that mimic estrogen. And what they do is they latch onto the receptor cells where estrogen would normally go. And so they provide a very weak estrogenic effect after we've gone through the menopause or when we're going through the menopause and afterwards. So a lot of the recipes will be incorporating phytoestrogens, and so the recipes will enable you to see how easy it is to incorporate phytoestrogen rich foods into your diets. That's part of it. We don't eat nearly enough fats in our diet. Ladies are often very scared of fat. I think that message is changing, but people think fats make us fat, and that's not true. So recipes will have the right sort of fats in the diet. Fats are really important. Fats are what I call the precursors to make estrogen and progesterone post-menopause. Now, what many people don't realize is that once we've gone through the menopause, it's not that we no longer can get estrogen and progesterone. We have significantly less of it because we don't get it from our ovaries, but we can make small amounts in our adrenal glands. And our adrenal glands are our stress hormones. We know them for producing adrenaline and cortisol. And we have what we call these steroid compounds and hormones, which start from sort of a fat base, which either goes down the the cortisol route, or it can make estrogen and progesterone as well. So people don't understand that. And so the recipes will incorporate the right sort of... Exactly. Yeah.
I had no idea about that. I think and I don't think a lot of people do. So it's really interesting you're talking about it in such detail. But what sort of fats are we talking about? Because we're such a generation of, fat is bad for you and don't eat this. And then we sometimes overindulge. And then, there are all kind of things with your hormones can happen, and you can have the night sweats, and you can have all these sort of effects that you don't need to live with, that a lot of people think that they do have to live with. So tell us about the right sort of fats that we can put into our bodies.
Well, the fats that we must get in our diet are the ones that are found in oily fish. And of course, some people don't like oily fish. So I explain how we can get those fats through other means, whether it's through supplementation, but certainly we need the particular fats that are found in oily fish are very, very important. Nuts and seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, all other types of nuts and seeds are really important. Using things like olive oil, and avocados. So all those really good fats. And I know people probably do eat them, but maybe they don't eat them in quite the right quantities that are needed, because there is still that little bit of like, oh, we don't want to put too much fat in the diet. So it's understanding how much we can eat in a safe, healthy way as well.
So throughout the program, you're going to give us almost like a toolkit for ladies to take away and that they can then utilize. So will it be a complete sort of program where you can go away and think, you know what, I can really take control of my own body and my hormones and everything that's going on?
Well, I hope so. I mean, this is just a very short program. What you will have, and I've nearly finished it, so I will be loading it into my program any day. So those that have already signed up will access this information. But I do provide people with this 14-day meal plan, breakfast, lunches, and dinners over the 14 days, so that you've got recipes and information at your fingertips that you can go away and use now or into the future. And I'll be talking about foods to eat in more abundance of and foods to avoid. So I'm going to talk about that. And throughout the 2 weeks, I go live in my programs. So, and they're recorded and saved. So it means that you can dip in and out of that either during the 2 weeks or at a later date. It won't be closed down, the program, afterwards. So even for people who might be thinking, I'm away on holiday or can't quite do the full 2 weeks, there's no reason why not to join, have access to all that information with all those wonderful recipes, and then feel like you might want to do it later on or access some of those talks that I give, because like I've just explained about the adrenal glands and phytoestrogens, and it all sounds confusing, I provide a lot of information about that through my lives or extra documentation over the 2 weeks that is available after the program has finished to download.
It sounds absolutely amazing, because and I think because a lot of us really start this earlier on as well. So people who are thinking that they might have symptoms of perimenopause, would this be beneficial as well?
I'm glad you raised that, Charlotte, because that's really important. It's about taking control in advance. So don't wait until things get really bad or more significant. Start early on, because we can start to go through the perimenopause in our 30s. And therefore, it's not too early for many of the listeners and See No Bounds to sort of think, actually, let's be proactive about this. Let's get a good understanding. Let's start eating the right sort of food that supports my hormones now, through perimenopause, through the perimenopause, and then through the menopause as well. Yeah, not too early.
Surely if you start earlier, you will have the balance of the hormones already, so you might not actually get as bad symptoms. Is that?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, I mentioned about the adrenal glands and stress. And I know you've got plenty of other therapists within See No Bounds who are expert in helping people controlling that sort of aspect. As a naturopath, I'm trained in this a little bit as well. So I do provide information to help people with stress relieving techniques and understanding the impact. When people start to understand and have the information to understand the impact that stress can then have on how you may experience the menopause, it's one of the factors. Then if you've got some tools and techniques available to help you try and lower that stress response when we all feel a little bit overwhelmed, it's all helpful stuff to start incorporating early on.
Definitely, because I don't think we realize how much stress actually affects it, because obviously a lot of women, when they go through menopause, have got children that might be either still at home or in university. So it's a stressful time with maybe empty nest syndrome and all sorts of other things going on in your life. So it can be a lot that got to do with stress in before and everything around it that can actually be quite prevented, can't it?
Yeah, just that information that I know that about the adrenal glands and the producers of weaker forms, but they are still producers of estrogen and progesterone after menopause. I think that helps to be a bit of a wake-up call to think, okay, how can I tap into that? Because your adrenal glands are not going to, they're not going to prioritize those stress hormones, because stress hormones are a priority fight or flight reaction. So, yeah.
Sorry, our dog absolutely bananas because the postman has turned up. So I do apologize for that. And anyone who's listening in, I'm really sorry about this. But I'm going to put my mic on mute for a moment because I want you to tell us all about where they can find the information. And obviously it's on cenobounce.co.uk. But where else can they book on, Caroline?
Yeah. The link is also on my website, right at the very top. So my website's called Peyton Principles. As you can see, my surname there, Peyton Principles. So there's a link there, and it is in Cenobounce on the events page as well. So it's very easy to find. Or contact me directly, Caroline@PeytonPrinciples.com, if you're struggling with the link for any reason and you want to get booked on. And as I said, it starts on the 25th, but the information is going to be available in advance of that, so that people can start to get a bit organised if they want to be proactively involved from the 25th, to get organised with shopping, looking through the menus, deciding what they want to cook or not cook. They are not complicated recipes. I do want to stress that. And I also want to stress there is a real mixture. In fact, I would say it's far more weighted towards vegans, vegetarians than meat eaters and fish eaters, although there is fish recipes in there. A lot of phytoestrogen-rich foods come from plant foods anyway. So it's very, very suitable for vegans and vegetarians too.
So suitable for everyone. That's amazing. That's really good.
I try to incorporate, trying to help, suit all people.
Yeah. So in the program, just to finish off, it's the Facebook group. So can you stay in touch with the people that you're on the course with and actually ask advice amongst each other as well? So it's almost like a closed group, isn't it? Throughout the program.
Not in Facebook. In my business, I have a client portal called Practice Better, how I manage all my clients. My group programs are set up in there. So it is a closed forum. All the information set up as modules, everything is downloaded from there. My Zooms, I post the links in there so people can watch it live, or I put the recordings in there. And there's a chat facility. So it's really nice. I like these things to be interactive throughout. People can share their recipes, what they've cooked. They might have found another recipe that is suitable. They post that and give information about that, and just be supportive to one another.
That's exactly what I wanted to kind of find out, because I think so many times you need somebody just to talk to. And sometimes your perhaps your family life and your partner and friends around you might not be going through the same thing. And I think that is sometimes half of the battle, is just to have that closed group where you can get support from like-minded people. And as we all know, it's half part of the stress, I think, when you find a supportive group like that, is to be able to share the experience. So that's really lovely. So thank you so much, Caroline, for coming on and talking to us about it. I think it's just a fantastic program. And I really hope if you know anyone, pass this on. And if you have any comments and watching this on replay, put #replay and get in touch with us, because I'm sure we can help in one way or another. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely, lovely Easter, Caroline.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.